everybody, and a warm welcome to my channel, Tarot by Izabela. I hope you're all doing great, even if we live in quite troubling and turbulent times at the moment. Today's video will be a video about South Africa and the BRICS summit that will happen the 22nd to 24th of August this year, where all the BRICS nations are gonna gather together and talk about their things. And I'm gonna look into that summit and a little bit about South Africa. And to do so, I'm gonna use my crystal ball. And today's crystal ball will be a crystal ball made of citrine crystal ball. And that gives more light into certain areas, but also it's a very friendly crystal ball, gives also more laughter and happiness. So I'm going to use that one today. But it also symbolizes gold, money and fortune. So could be an appropriate crystal ball for today's reading. And then I'm going to take some tarot cards and oracle cards also in this reading. But before we begin, I just want to thank you all, wonderful viewers, for all of your support to this channel. Without you, there would not be any channel, and I'm very grateful for your mails, for your comments, for your support, and it really warms my heart and gives energy to continue doing more videos. Well, what about this summit that is planned anyway, 22nd to 24th of August this year in Johannesburg in South Africa? I have some notes here. I'm gonna read them so I don't miss any important info. Okay. Well, it was planned that the leader of Russia, Mr. P, would attend to this summit for the BRICS nations in Johannesburg. But since South Africa is a member of the International Criminal Court, ICC, and the International Criminal Court have issued a warrant in the month of March to arrest Vladimir Putin for war crimes. And since South Africa is a member of this ICC, it will put them in a very difficult position if the leader of Russia would come there, and they would have to arrest him. So they have decided that Mr. P will not go to Johannesburg in South Africa. Instead, he will join the meeting through a video call. So when certain things are discussed, then he will also be present there, but through video call. So he will not be there. And his foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov, will be in Johannesburg in his place. But also leaders of Brazil, India, China, South Africa will also be there. What more? Yeah, South Africa have been neutral to the conflict between country R and country U. And the Western countries have criticized South Africa a lot for being that. But they still continue to keep that policy to be neutral. And it's said that they will on this summit, the BRICS countries will discuss a lot to maybe start with a currency, special currency, that will be a big rival against the US dollar. And it's a possibility that could happen. Yeah. And this could be quite shaky for many countries around the world if the BRICS nations decide to have their kind of currency to trade between each other. But also they're gonna discuss a little bit maybe new countries that want to join their organization. And into that I'm gonna look with this crystal ball, my cards, and some dice. But before we begin, I need to concentrate for a few moments on South Africa and on this BRICS summit that is planned for 22nd to 24th of August this year. So just give me a few seconds and soon we'll begin. Okay, let's see what we can find here for South Africa and this summit. I am quite sure that the South African government are aware of the threat that this summit opposes to the West. And I see some kind of like terrorist cells around in South Africa that could be, hopefully they will not, but there could be some kind of signal to those cells to start doing some kind of destruction in different places in South Africa, just to make that country unstable before the visit of the BRICS countries. And it could be before, but could also be during this 2 days of summit. There is a big chance that some kind of almost like terrorist attack on different places, or mobs, a lot of people, angry people destroying things, but the leaders of these groups are paid to do so. And I see a very big security net, like a grid over South Africa, and like people in normal clothes, like civilians, they're going around and checking if something strange is happening, listening, to try to prevent any attack of this kind. And if something happens, it's like it's gonna be calmed down very quickly. The leaders for the BRICS nations will join for this summit. And big things are gonna be discussed. Symbolically, I see a mountain of gold, and it's like it's shared, or it's talked about how this mountain of gold should be used in best ways. It is a big possibility that during this summit it will be decided that 3 other nations could join the BRICS alliance. Extremely much security in the airports, around the streets, on the roads, in the buildings. I see I see dogs, who are trained to detect explosive. They're also checking places. They're gonna stop a man with some kind of explosives or device on him and trying to make some damage. He will be stopped. Some very, very important papers, documents will be handed over on this summit from the country or to the other countries. And some of those documents will be revealed in South African news or television. And this will spread to other countries around the world. But not maybe during the summit, could be a little bit after. I see also there will be a lot of talk, not only for the South African people, but for the people in those different member nations, how to improve the standard of living for their citizens. And it will be some kind of law between them that they have to make improvement for the poor people, to make so they can have a better living standard. In South Africa, I'm not sure what it is that I see. If it's some kind of, it's not firework. It looks like firework, but it's not firework. That is raining over a big city. If it's Cape Town, it's a coastal city anyway. But it stays in the sky. It's not like a bomb dropping down, even if it looks like it. I'm not sure what it is. But it's not firework, but it looks like firework. Two very corrupt leaders, different political areas in South Africa will be removed shortly after this summit. And big reforms are coming for South Africa, and that is regarding for those who have very difficult people with very low income, salary, to improve their lives. Single parents, old people, or people with some kind of disability. And as I said in the video about South Africa, some kind of fusion between traditional African medicine and modern medicine to make a more holistic way of treatment, also prevention for illness, but different kind of treatments that are not very harsh to the body, but really cures diseases that, and not just take away symptoms. some kind of a strange battle in warships outside South African coast. It's like they're chasing something, or and I see a couple of ships. They're going quite quick after something on the water or under the water. Yeah. After this summit, big changes gonna happen around Europe, the Western world. They are very, very scared of this summit. And it will not take a long time, and it will be another summit. And that will include new member nations. Yeah. Well, let's continue to the cards. I'm gonna take some cards on that summit in South Africa. Could be some kind of attempt on Mr. Lavrov from Russia. They will not be able to kill him, but they will try. Just a couple more cards and we'll be finished here. Well, it fell out, but let's put it here. And some dice. That was an empty one, and another one. That was also no. I have to take it away. Oh. Let's see what the cards have to say. Okay, and the cards look like this. It's quite interesting cards. In the tarot cards, we have the Star, the High Priestess, 10 of Wands, the Devil, and 10 of Swords. Then in the Oracle cards, we have a baby. A cross symbolizes religion. And in this big Oracle cards, we have a woman that is sleeping inside of a circle, and there are like hands watching over her. And in this card we have reflection, non-judgmental, not judgment, express your love. And on the dice we have a flower, a harp, fortune, windmill with 2 houses, and on the dice here they says happy thunder. Yeah. The whole summit is like protected because we have the card of protection here. And the protection, the security is very much, or it's very big and in every area. So they really put a lot of work, a big effort to keep the place, the summit, secure. And the dice below says fortune, so they will have success in keeping it quite secure. And the devil is getting weaker, is getting tired, will try to do something, but it will have it very difficult to express or do what he wants to do. On the summit, and also in South Africa, I told before that there will come some new reforms to help the young people, the children, to blossom, to grow and live better lives, especially the poor ones. So all the fortune, all the money that this BRICS alliance will produce or give will in the future, not really yet, but in the future, really be beneficial for the citizens of those nations. And old wisdom and old traditions and old religions will sing again, play the song, we have the harp. So the music from old traditions will be awakened. And the older generation, many times it's women, elderly women, that keep those traditions alive. They will be more listened to or more respected than they have been before. What will going on there with the summit, it will make a lot of thunder, a lot of noise around the whole globe. But it's happy thunder. And it's like they're working for that every country, every poor country, because many of the poor countries in the world have been extremely abused by the Western world, that they should stand up for themselves, be sovereign again, not dependent on charity from the West, but that they really have the possibility to manage and stay strong and give their citizens opportunity of a good life. And this will be discussed a lot, and many countries, especially in Africa, will open up more and more to be strong and sovereign. Yeah. Especially in many countries around South Africa, but also in other places. So like a fire starts to burn in their hearts. We deserve better than be subjects to Western world. What says that their traditions, their culture, their democracy is better than what we can have in our own countries. So it will be like a fire more and more burning to make especially the poor countries stronger and independent of Western charity. Yeah. Now I'm gonna take some last cards for South Africa and the BRICS Summit. And let's see what the cards have to say. Take again. Some last words. We have King of Swords, Page of Wands, Ace of Wands. And this summit, it will also be discussed some kind of military alliance also, that we have the NATO, but the BRICS country will also discuss their own some kind of military support to each other or their own alliance. And this is a big threat to the NATO countries. Yeah. But they will not discuss to expand or take over countries or one country rule all of them. No, every country is sovereign, every country have their own rules, but they will also try to back up each other. Yeah, and there will come some good news out of this. And some new laws will be written. Yeah. And in South Africa, I see a big gathering of military personnel from all over the world. And this has nothing to do with the summit, it's something else. And it could be that they will train or they will do some kind of intervention. Yeah. But the last cards are good news. So things will improve, even if I see there could be a little bit turbulence here and there, and people are suffering in South Africa, as in every country around the planet. There are not really any good country to live in at the moment. But since people are going to be more and more awake, they're going to stand stronger, and things are changing in a very quick way. Soon we're going to hear news from all kinds of places, and all kinds of big things will happen. And the goal for all this is to make the world a better place for everyone, except the evil ones. Anyway, that was my reading for the summit of August in Johannesburg, and a little bit from South Africa. And to all of you wonderful people out there, thank you so much for watching. Stay strong. Things are going to get quite rough almost everywhere before it gets better. And if we are together for the same goal, to make this planet a better place for all life, then we're going to get there. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully we're going to see each other soon again. Bye bye.